Hi, welcome to Lynette's Beauty Box. So wanted to do a very special video for Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way, because when this video goes up, it'll be Christmas Day. You know, everyone has traditions. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everyone has some type of family tradition. My family happens to celebrate Christmas, and so I would love to know what your Christmas Eve traditions are. For us, Marty and I always make some fresh hot cocoa, and then we read the night before Christmas. So I thought that this evening I would share one of our holiday traditions with all of you. So keep watching if you want to check out our holiday traditions. Marty has joined us.
Hi.
So when I was growing up, one of my favorite traditions at Christmas time was we would always have no presents under the tree. None. When I was little. And my parents would always hide the presents. Now, my brothers did teach me, however, how to unwrap a present, and you can look inside and then play peekaboo and then rewrap it. Now, my parents caught on to this quite quickly. So they stopped putting presents under the tree. They would hide them in the closets in their bedroom and lock it up tight. But one of my favorite traditions later was that we always got to open one present. We didn't get to pick the present. And it was usually like pajamas or socks or underwear or something, like that. And you're like, oh. But the good stuff always came from Santa Claus the next day. And that was one of my favorite traditions, was getting to open that one horrible present on Christmas Eve. Now, later on, once I was an adult and Marty and I were together, we kind of made some of our own traditions. And we're going to talk about that. So Marty, did you have any traditions growing up when you were a kid?
Well, I did. Our one of my favorites was on Christmas mornings. We didn't get to do anything on Christmas Eve, like you guys did. You know, open the one present or anything like that. Um, of course, one of the things I always did to be sneaky was I used to hide behind our hide-a-bed couch in the living room to try to sneak and get a peek on Santa Claus.
Did you ever catch him?
No, never caught him.
That sly old devil.
I always wondered how he would come down my chimney when we had a fire going in our stove. I always thought he'd burn his butt.
No, it was magic.
So I told my uncle one day, I said, I want to make sure that fire is going good so we keep warm. And he said I could. But I wanted to catch Santa Claus. That's all I wanted to do.
What were you going to do with Santa once you caught him?
I'll take his picture. I never caught him. Never did. But one of the traditions we always had is we used to go to my grandma's every Christmas. Every Christmas. And me and my aunt and uncle and my dad, my cousins, and all my other cousins, my aunt and uncles, we would all meet at grandma's. And grandma, talk about a cook. Grandma could cook. Not only that we would cook a turkey, we had hams, pies, stuffing. People say I cook for an army. Grandma cooked for cavalry. We would have 2 or 3 turkeys, and they're not little ones. We're talking 20-pound turkeys, 22-pound turkeys.
Those big turkeys.
They were big, but then again, you had people like me eating.
So, what was your favorite part? The presents or the food?
They were about even.
Not even.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever done anything like just crazy and just for Christmas? Like, what has been the most, craziest thing that you have ever done to be with family at Christmas time? Comment down below. I'm going to tell you what the craziest thing we've done. So early on in our marriage, Marty and I, we didn't have a car. And I really wanted to be with my mom and my grandpa at Christmas. And so we talked about it for a while, and we were like, because we live in Springfield and grandpa lived all the way in Jericho Springs, which is like, what would you say, like 80, 90 miles?
94 miles. I remember
So,
I drove it.
And I really wanted to go. And I wanted to see my family because I was missing my family. So Marty and I, we talked back and forth. We tried to see if someone could come pick us up, and take us, give us a ride, something. But we couldn't come up with anything. So, because I'm an evil genius, I said to Marty, honey, we've got to find a way to get to Grandpa's for Christmas. So he's like, yeah, we really need to. So I racked my brain and I thought about it and I thought about it. I was like, oh, I have an idea. What if we just rent a U-Haul truck to go to Grandpa's for Christmas. And Marty thought about it for like 1 second. He's like, that's a great idea.
We did.
So we got the smallest truck that they had, which was
14 foot.
Yeah, it was a 14-foot truck. And I drove it to my grandpa's house for Christmas. And that was really the big talk. It was like, Grandpa said, are you expecting a lot of presents? I said, no, Grandpa, I just wanted to get here for Christmas.
He thought that was really neat.
Yeah, he's like, well, it worked. And then I got the truck stuck. And
Yeah.
Grandpa had to help me get it unstuck.
With the tractor.
With a tractor. So what was the craziest thing you guys have ever done to be with family for Christmas? You should comment down below. I would love to know. Okay, so, obviously, Marty and I have a lot of traditions. We have, the traditions of 4 Christmas trees. We have the tradition of, we have an angel tree. It was my mom's tree. She's passed away. She's been gone almost 2 years. And she always put up an angel tree. And I started doing that a couple years before she passed away. And so I just kept that tradition alive. And then,
Ball tree.
yeah, we have a tree that's just nothing but blue balls. And then this year we added something to our Christmas decorations. We added an angel, one of those lighted angels you stick in the windows. And Marty thought of that.
Really?
Marty thought of that. He thought that would be a great way to honor both my mother and his. But one thing because Marty and I have been married for 24 years, and one thing that has been constant, we started doing this the very first year we were dating. And on Christmas Eve, we always I cook. And don't get me wrong, I cook. We're used to having a ton of people. So usually I'm cooking for 2 days. So at Christmas Eve, whenever everything is cooked or prepped, and all we have to do is relax and enjoy ourselves. And so what we do is we put on our pajamas. I'm wearing my kitty cat pajamas. These happen to be the last pajamas my mom bought for me. And we make hot cocoa. And we read The Night Before Christmas. So I thought that because you guys are a huge part of our lives, that we should share a little bit of our traditions with you. So go and grab yourself some hot cocoa. Make sure you're wearing the most comfortable thing you can. And sit back while I read The Night Before Christmas. This was a poem written by Clement C. Moore. It was the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were all nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane flies, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetops the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the dancing, the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when it laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Now, I want you all to know you are my family, each and every one of you. And I love and thank you for all the support that you've given me this year. And I wish you a very happy Merry Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. And until next time, we love you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.